All right, we are at Thursday. Had to think for a moment to think about what day it is. But I have a book that we used earlier in the year for a mentor text, but I realized we never read the whole book. So we are going to read Houndsley and Catina by James Howe, illustrated by Marie-Louise Gay. So we have different chapters in this book. It is very similar to the Pinky and Rex books, and actually it is the same author, and I just figured that out yesterday. So, Houndsley and Catina, Chapter 1, The Writer. Catina wanted to be a writer. Every evening after dinner, she would make herself a cup of ginger tea and sit down to write another chapter in her book. So far, she had written 73 chapters. The book was called Life Through the Eyes of a Cat. My book will win prizes, Catina told her best friend Houndsley one day when he asked how the writing was going. Did not ask if your book was going to win prizes, Houndsley said in his soft as a rose petal voice. I asked how the writing was going. I will be famous, Catina went on, as if she had not heard him. Houndsley sighed. May I read your book? He asked. Of course, said Catina. I have only one chapter left to write. The next evening, Catina invited Houndsley to her house. Here is my book, she said proudly. She gave him all 74 chapters, a cup of ginger tea, and a plate of cookies. I will need more cookies, said Houndsley. Oh my goodness, look at all that writing. It's a lot to read through. Catina did not take her eyes off Houndsley while he read. He wished the phone would ring so she would have to go to another room. Here is some of what Houndsley read. On the subject of mice, one cannot be said, or enough cannot be said. But who am I to say? I have known many mice in my life. They are all right. For rodents, well, I am bored writing about mice. Who cares anyway? There's Houndsley reading, and there's her writing on the other page. Oh dear, Houndsley thought. Catina is a terrible writer. What am I going to say to her? I am at a loss for words, Houndsley told Catina when he had finished reading the book. I am speechless. Catina beamed. My writing has left you speechless, she exclaimed. Now I know I will be a famous writer. Oh, thank you, Houndsley. You're welcome, Houndsley said. But he was thinking, oh dear, poor Catina. So she's so excited that she thought he loved her writing when he didn't tell her what she could fix, or maybe that he wasn't a huge fan. So she thinks that her writing is the best, but Houndsley wanted to give her some extra advice on how to make it even better, but he didn't. Chapter 2 is called Cooking Contest. Every Saturday night, Houndsley cooked dinner for his best friend Catina and his next-door neighbor Bert. This was not always easy. Even though she was a cat, Catina did not eat meat, and what Bert liked best were seeds, grains, and worms. How many of you like to cook? I've started cooking a lot more. I prefer baking though. But Houndsley did not mind. He enjoyed cooking and he was good at it. One Saturday night, Bert said, Everything you make is delicious, Houndsley. I've never had worms with poppy seeds and broccoli before. Worms? Catina yelped. You know I'm a vegetarian. They're not real worms, Houndsley assured his friends. They only look like worms. They are made of tofu. It's fun to have a dinner. Catina laughed. You are a wonder, she said. Yes, said Bert. You should enter the cooking contest. Cooking contest? Oh, I don't know about that, Houndsley said, his voice growing softer with each word. But you are a great cook, Catina cried. You could be famous. Do you think so? Houndsley asked. I know so, said Catina. When you have a talent as big as yours, you must share it with the world. Really? First prize is a set of pots and pans, said Bert. I could use a new set of pots and pans, said Houndsley. Although he already had so many, he was not sure where he would put them. All right, I will do it. On the day of the cooking contest, Houndsley arrived with everything he needed. I'm going to make my 3-bean chili, Houndsley told Catina and Bert, who had come to cheer him on. Your 3-bean chili is delicious, Catina told him. You will win. Houndsley blushed. He thought he might win too, but he didn't dare say so. Oh, they made him a sign. They're ready to cheer him on. That's good, friends. I did not know so many others would be here, Houndsley said. Look, Houndsley, said Bert, you are going to be on television. Oh dear, Houndsley thought. Everyone will be watching me. It's a nervous feeling. Houndsley made his 3-bean chili many times before, but today everything went wrong. He dropped a can of tomatoes on his foot. He did not cook the rice long enough, and he forgot to put in the beans. All 3 kinds. So nothing is going well for him today. When the judges came to taste his chili, they made faces. I think I broke a tooth on the rice, one of them said. I don't taste the beans, said another. Maybe you should call this no-bean chili, said a third, and all the judges laughed. Oh, that makes me sad, because Houndsley was nervous already, and then they were laughing at him when he made mistakes. Houndsley had never been so embarrassed in his life. I will never cook again, he told Catina and Bert. Not even for us? Bert said. Maybe for you, said Houndsley. But please, do not ask for the 3-bean chili. I hope that Houndsley is able to learn a lesson that even though he made a mistake on the cooking competition, that it's okay to try making the 3-bean chili again. Chapter 3 is called Fireflies. One night, Houndsley and Catina were sitting outside watching fireflies. This was one of their favorite things to do together. They sat quietly for a long time. I want you to think about when you sit quietly for a long time and just watch either the sun maybe rising or the sun going down, or maybe just sitting outside looking around and observing all the cool things around you. At last, Houndsley said, I did not need a new set of pots and pans. I only wanted to win that contest to show everyone I was the best cook. You are the best cook, Catina said. I do not need to be the best, said Houndsley in as soft as a rose petal voice. I just enjoy cooking. Trying to be the best made me nervous, and I did not have fun. If you do not have fun doing something you like to do, what is the point? Catina thought about this. That's a really good point that Houndsley made. If you do not have fun doing something you like to do, why keep doing it? I do not have fun writing, she said as they began to walk. My mind wanders and I get bored. A firefly blinked at her. I want to be a famous writer, she went on, but I do not like to write. Perhaps you will be famous at something else, said Houndsley. Yes, said Catina. First I will find something I like to do. Then I will do it and do it and do it until I am very good at it, and then I might be famous. I know something you are good at already, said Houndsley, although you will never be famous for it. What? Being my friend. Catina began to purr. Being your friend is better than being famous. Houndsley and Catina came to their favorite spot. They sat for a long time. They did not talk about winning prizes or being famous. They did not talk about anything. They smiled the sweet summer air and listened to crickets. They watched the fireflies dance and blink and light up the night in front of them. Everyone has talents. Watching fireflies was one of theirs. Wow, what a really cool lesson in this book about friendship and about finding something that you love to do. And once you find something you love to do, you can find ways to practice to get better and better. Now, I know some of you really love sports. Now is the time where you can go outside, and if you like basketball, you can dribble the basketball and get really good at dribbling. If you have a basketball hoop, you can work on shooting the basketball and get really good at making shots. If you are into soccer or football, you can work on passing. You can work on catching if you're doing football. If you're into music, you can work on practicing music. I want you to think about something that you really like doing and that you really enjoy doing. And then I want you to think about, what can I do so I can get really good at it? Maybe you like science. You could study science experiments and come up with your own. Maybe you like drawing. You could draw pictures and keep practicing different techniques to make your drawing even better. So think about what you enjoy doing and what you're going to do to get better at that. All right, that was Houndsley and Catina. We're going to be back tomorrow with another Houndsley and Catina book. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you later.